Okay, so it's currently about 1:30 in the morning a.m. for me, and I am going to watch the uh, the video that's been requested the most from this series, the Castform one, which I'm excited about because I quite like Castform. It's such a cool Pokemon, and it deserves more types, or every type. And I want to know. I will be hopefully at least posting once a week during the summer, minimum. I'll be posting more Minecraft content. I want to post like I I love anime rap from like people like Rustage and Tam Sandwich and people like that. So I want to post a couple of those. There are two that I'm reacting to later tonight or maybe tomorrow and should be posted within a week. But I want to get really quick into this video. Just jump on in.
This is Professor Fur's research log number 42069.
Nice.
Oh, Arceus, of course. Well, I've finally done it. Oh, I am so pleased with these results. And with this project finally at its end, I will use this log entry to summarize the entire thing.
Oh, I just got it. Professor Fur.
Here it goes.
Fur trees.
Hello, I am Professor Fur, one of two main Pokemon professors in the Cascade region.
Hello, Professor
My
Furry.
specific field of study is learning more about this region's unique weather system, which is caused by the four roaming legendary Pokemon constantly rotating the seasons. These constant shifts have made some of the Pokemon here able to use moves and abilities that they are incapable of in other regions, mainly moves that affect their immediate environment.
Castform.
Essentially, battlefield-sized weather anomalies. I've dubbed this simply Weather Energy, or Weathergy, because I'm uncreative.
I like Weathergy. It's a nice name.
That's not my job as a professor.
Fair
But one
enough.
thing I noticed while out doing...
Well, but isn't it though? But isn't it though to make freaking to make the names for stuff that you discover? You see,
Doing my
Just
research
saying.
is that my partner Pokemon, Castform,
Cute.
apparently has more forms here than anywhere else in the world, as pointed out to me by Castform's original creator. Apparently,
Right,
in
the
other
Hoenn
regions,
Weather
there is
Institute.
only a sunny, snowy, and rainy form. But out here, I was regularly
Also, it's always bugged me that there's not a sandstorm form. So, pop off king.
encountering several more, so I made it a mission of mine to discover a form of Castform for every type, which is clearly easier said than done.
Yeah.
Several of the types were of no issue. It was only a matter of putting it into
how do
a
you get
battlefield
dragon
with
or
some of our
steel?
unique weathergy. I'll explain these findings now. The first new variant I encountered was its grass-type form.
He's all
Pollinated.
chill.
I encounter histamine swarms nearly every day that I gather field data in a spring part of the region. So, we were constantly surrounded by a swirl of their pollen. My poor little cast form, though, he seems strained in this form, and is having a bit of a difficult time not sneezing. But
Grass type range physical attacks. So, like Aura Sphere? I'm assuming it'd still be. Isn't Weather Bowl 60, 80 base power? I can't remember. It's 50 base power, 100% accuracy. Yeah, summon content. Yeah, okay. Just curious. Alright, cool.
in this form, notably, its weather ball attack is so packed with pollen that it
It's physical.
becomes a ranged physical grass-type attack.
Ghost types.
Now, if instead of pollen, the air is filled with poisonous gas,
I want to say poison.
form enters a smog form, rendering itself
Yangi.
and its allies immune to the poisonous air, while also further poisoning the enemy team a bit more so than what the air is already doing.
So does it essentially like makes its entire team immune to poison or like toxic or whatever, but then does it badly poison every Pokemon that goes into your opponent's field? Seems kind of broken. I'm not gonna lie.
Another variant, common
Like maybe like does half more damage, like how it would usually do about 6%, and then it does like 9% instead more damage. You know, just saying. Like 1/6 of your max HP, I think. No, is it what? No, is it? Is it 6%? I think it's 6%. Yeah. But this guy's chill. Rock form.
in the Cascade region is the rock-type variant,
Mm-hmm.
which is caused by being in a sandstorm. Here, its weather ball turns physical as well, and it seems like it's able to protect
Okay.
its teammates from the effect of the sandstorm. Which, when I brought this up to his creators, they mentioned not knowing of such an ability at all.
Okay. I'm sorry I keep pausing, but I like to talk. Uh, isn't Sandstorm a ground type move? So why the hell is it the rock variant? Just curious.
Same with the poison form. I guess here in Kaskade, on top of its form changing with the weather, it gains a
I
sort
love
of
all these
secondary
designs, by the way.
ability in certain forms as well. The flying type variant is a fairly easy form for it to enter as well. Any
Huge.
frequent amount of high wind with no other effects will cause its body to stretch and twirl around itself, making it almost like a sentient little hurricane. It's very cute. Interestingly
is
enough,
quite
when a
cute.
Castform is in this form, it is significantly more difficult for other enemy Pokemon to change the weather. It's as if this
So it
form of
blocks it
Castform
once?
is blowing any of their new effects away. But it only works once, as it then reverts back to its original form after doing so. Visually, it is similar to its ground-type variant, where Castform
Ooh.
becomes a sort of mini tornado or a dust devil, picking up
Yeah.
sand and dirt beneath it. Its weather
Wouldn't
ball
this
in this form
make
can
sense
hit
in-
enemies even while underground by first exposing them, and if it does so, it will then cause a sandstorm, which, funnily enough, changes Castform to its rock-type form. A curious behavior, indeed. Another easy
But how do you get the ground type? Did he say? Am I stupid?
it then reverts back to its original form after doing so. Visually, it is similar to its ground-type variant, where Castform becomes a sort of mini tornado or a dust devil, picking up sand and dirt beneath it. Its weather ball in this form can hit enemies even while underground by first exposing them, and if it does
No,
so,
he
it will then
doesn't.
cause a sandstorm, which,
Weird.
funnily enough, changes Castform to its rock-type
Interesting.
form. A curious behavior, indeed. Another easy form for it to get into is
Cute.
its electric type form. Simply being in a thunderstorm with a charged battlefield will activate it. And its effect here is interesting. It acts a bit like a lightning rod. It will absorb any electric attack that it or its allies are dealt, though it still takes some damage from doing this. But in return, its next weather ball attack is not only electric type, but also more powerful thanks to the added electricity.
That makes
More
sense.
research is needed to determine how much power this little body of its can hold. Now, even the
Huge.
ghost-type Pokemon in the Cascade region have
Yeah,
this extra
the
weather
Cascadian
energy,
Haunter.
which has led to a new sort of
In
weather
that
effect,
entire line.
which we've dubbed Cursed Winds.
Ooh.
Essentially,
Ominous Wind
the
V2.
wind blows with an eerie howl and bone-chilling sensation that cools those exposed to it without actually lowering the temperature. Silpscope scans indicate sort of ghost tears in the vicinity of
Silpscope.
these winds, perhaps a ghostly realm sort of leaking into our own.
Oh! Those are the ghosts from the fucking Lavender Down Tower.
More research will need to be done here, but the ghost-type cast form renders it...
I love that. It looks like Mimic. It just reminds me of Mimikyu. Meets normal and fighting type attacks as is ghost and wards off any curse. Curse when spirits from its side of the battlefield might paralyze opponents with fear. Ah. So it's like. So it's kind of like Curse Body, but with paralysis. Or, no. A Flame Body would be a more accurate thing, where instead of burning it, paralyzes. Or is there an ability that does that? I feel like there is. That does paralysis. It gives a chance of paralysis when hit. And wards off cursed winds spirits from its side of the bed. So it only... Okay. Yeah.
It immune to normal and fighting type attacks, while also warding off the spirits of the cursed winds from its side of the battlefield, which of course causes them to move more over to its enemy's side, increasing the effects of the cursed winds. To the point of paralysis even, due to the fear and the grip of the cursed ones. I'm not sure
Got
I'm
it.
brave enough to continue researching this particular form. Experts will be needed. Mediums. And the last of the easier forms to achieve
Ooh,
is the psychic,
psychic?
type form.
Oh, yeah.
Psychic type Pokemon in the cast.
He looks like a, he kind of reminds me of the, either like a Fortune Orb or like the Greasius Orb. The Greasius Orb that, Giratina uses.
Cade region also have their own
Except
sort
purple.
of weather, though a weather barrier or filter of sorts.
Like psychic
would be a
terrain?
better description. They put a weird sort of psychic field around the battle arena. I've read in other regions that some psychic Pokemon are able to create psychic terrain, and this is essentially that. The filter
Yeah.
seems to amplify the effects of the stars above, boosting
Introducing psychic orb amplifies the power of the stars or boosts the power of Pokemon psychic moves. Okay.
their psychic power even more. and it's quite beautiful, I must admit. But when
An
in this
Aurora
effect,
Borealis?
Castform
That's cute.
becomes sort of clairvoyant and begins meditation.
Well, not
When
attack. Still
meditating,
use status moves.
well, it doesn't
Oh,
seem to attack. It can still use status moves, though. But if it has an ally on the
interesting.
battlefield, it will amplify all of their attack
Okay, now Castform is super valid in like VGC, which I play, by the way. Thank you.
with added psychic energy, seemingly pushing its ally further with the aid of telekinesis. And I should note that this effect seems to last for a short while, so switching the Castform out with another Pokemon in wait will see the effect continue to last for that Pokemon for a brief moment. I'm sure some expert trainers can see value in this. But now, the few remaining forms of Castform were much more difficult to achieve, but I found out, eventually, that by giving it a weather gem to focus more weather energy
Gem.
into,
Interesting.
it can unlock some more potential within itself and gain access to more forms. So now, with enough infinity energy in the air, it will become its dragon type form. Every turn.
This one's probably my favorite. This looks like Regidrago mixed with a fucking onion.
Its attack and defense stats grow, but it also just takes ever-increasing damage to itself,
So like kind of outrage.
similar to the effects of the move Toxic. It seems that its body
Oh.
isn't meant for this kind of arcane power.
So is he essentially like badly poisons itself? Wait, no, but why would it increase over time? Every turn every turn its attack and defense stats grow. That is a broken passive ability. Holy shit. That is broken as hell.
Now, when a
But I guess it balances out by taking damage with Toxic.
Pokemon causes Overcast and a Blood Moon, Castform not only changes its form, but its personality as well.
Mischievous.
When in this Dark-type form, all of its stats raise a bit, but it won't listen to a word that I say. It thinks
Little
it's being
bitch.
sly or mischievous or something of the sort. An unfortunate effect, but an easy one to break at least. Simply a change of the weather will cause it to change its form and snap out of the attitude, but it keeps the stat boosts, which is quite nice. Now,
Very
similar
nice.
to pollinated air, many fairy-type Pokemon in the Cascade region have learned that they can fill the air with a pleasant scent on the breeze by filling it with a sort
Aroma
of
veil.
fairy dust, which lowers evasiveness and heals everyone around. Besides dragons and ghosts, of course.
Lowers evasiveness. Yeah, okay.
And fellow fairies and grass types heal even more so. But now, thanks to this weather gem,
Yo, Whimsicott must be bloomin'. Pun intended.
Castform can change into the fairy form,
Oh, it's so cute.
which will actually double the healing of it and its
Jesus.
allies. And its weather ball attack heals whomever it hits even further.
It's just heal pulse.
Which can include itself now. And also similar to pollinated air, bugs will sometimes fill the air with pheromones. They tend not to smell very good at all, but they and
Makes sense.
poison-type Pokemon seem to like it, as it increases their speed and accuracy
poison-type
instead of
Pokemon,
lowering
but
it for
lowers it.
everyone else. And
Okay.
now, thanks to the weather gem, Castform sort of integrates the pheromone.
I know I keep saying this, but this one might be my favorite. This one's so cute. Its little mouth, its eyes. Yeah, this one's probably my favorite thus far. This and the dragon one. I like those two.
Into its own body, affording a cloud of pheromones around itself, which protects it and its allies from the negative effects, and causes the weather ball to sort of infest whomever it hits. I've been meaning to look into how infestation works for a while now. Perhaps now that I've found all the Castform forms, I will look into it. Now, the fighting type Castform.
Interesting.
That one took me a while. I had to further refine the weather gem to get it to work. Some Cascadian fighting type Pokemon can radiate their fighting spirit into the air around
Aura.
them, like a Lucario's Aura Ball, but
Yeah.
always
Smash, let's
and
go.
the entire battlefield. And now, when this happens, Castform can pick up on that and transform into its fighting.
Holy shit. Oh my god, it's actually Aura Sphere.
Type form. The speed boost that it gets from this is remarkable.
Massive speed boost rams into enemies with every attack. So all attacks are physical, but does that mean like all attacks have recoil, like Flare Blitz or Double Edge? Or can it not use status moves instead of like the opposite of Psychic?
Remarkable. It's now among the fastest Pokemon I've ever seen. And
Damn.
it can't seem to sit still.
Now, is it faster than Regieleki? Because if it is, I'm very happy.
Still, darting back and forth rapidly and now ramming into its foes for every attack. And then
What? You good?
and then the steel type. And this is where I truly struggled. It took me
makes
months
sense.
to figure this
Like, how the hell would you get steel? Kind of a rusty atmosphere, acid rain? Like, how would that work?
one out. Some steel-type Cascadian Pokemon have a minor effect on the weather and their weather energy, but it's never much. A tweak to the local magnetosphere. It only ever speeds them up slightly and makes them more accurate, but it also makes all electric attacks against them perfectly accurate. I tried so
Thunder.
many things to get this to work with Castform, but nothing seems to work. I hate to resort to the same tactics as Tom Bezel, my
Jeff
old
Bezos.
fratmate and now CEO of Amazol, richest corporation in Kaskade,
Not a
and
stab at
the
Amazon.
world soon. You see, he's been messing with Pokemon biology for a while now, all for corporate gain.
Of course.
There's a modified steel-type Drifblim that delivers
The
packages,
Drifblim.
steel-type Sudowoodo to act as a living cell tower, and
At least Sudowoodo is useful now.
I swear that new Golbat evolution, Vibat, was
Ooh.
made by Amazol
Holy
too.
shit.
They're listening
That's so cool.
to us for sure. And the Botniak. Are they
Ooh.
even Pokemon? But no matter.
Is
I
it
can
sentient?
twist my morals a bit for science. This is the last step of this project, so
Don't hurt the Castform. Please don't hurt the boy. Don't hurt the ball sack.
after
Please.
tinkering around in my lab a bit, eventually I did find out how to achieve a steel-type Castform, and it involves a whole other item to give it. A steel whirligig, not unlike the one in downtown
Okay.
Port Alki. So, what's great about this held item is that it makes the steel form Castform become the
Monotone.
default form. So,
Yo, I like the Cramorant.
it's in this form right out of the Pokeball.
I don't like
And
this
when
music,
it comes
though.
out, the magnetosphere burst clears any weather effects that are already in the battlefield and sets up the steel-type weather effect on top of that. But as a bonus, it boosts its allies' accuracy too, and also acts similarly to the electric
Lightning
form of
Rod?
Castform, but even better. It acts like a lightning rod and pretty much renders its side of the battlefield immune to electric-type attacks.
Damn. That shit's busted.
There are a few negatives involved with this, though.
You good?
The cast form inside doesn't seem to enjoy being in this form.
No.
I feel sort of bad putting it through this.
It's not good.
Also,
hurt the
it cannot
cast form.
transform into any of its other forms until the Whirligig breaks off, which seems to happen after it's taken a few hits. And it still doesn't seem too happy for a while afterwards, too.
Rip friendship.
What have I done? I knew I shouldn't have steeped to these levels.
Probably not.
This has been Professor Fur, log 42069.
Goodbye, Professor Furry.
Professor Fur's research log number 42070. I don't know how they caught wind of it. Probably those dang Vibats. But Amazol Corp approached me yesterday. They want to buy the manufacturing rights off of me for the steel whirligigs.
Don't.
I'm not sure what use they have for them. And I'm not sure I want to put any other cast form through what mine endured.
Don't.
But the money, what they offered,
Mm-mm.
that would fund my lab for over 10 years. I
Mm-mm.
wouldn't have to worry about any more grants for a decade.
No.
Oh, what am I going to do?
Don't do it, Professor Furry. It's a bad idea. All right. Nice. Okay. So, there's a lot of cool things to talk about in this video, but I'm going to keep this short. So, there's a lot of awesome forms. The grass one, very nice. I'm going to I think my video after this, or a couple of my videos after this, might be ranking all of the cast forms. So, I'm not going to reveal which is definitely my favorite, but these are all very cool. Very, very awesome. Very, very, very cool. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully very soon. Goodbye. If you like my video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, maybe a nice comment for something you might want to see in the future. Goodbye.